Okay. The last class we had seen about variation of resultant with respect to A, B, and I told you if you change theta, the resultant will definitely change, correct? Right. So usually resultant, how do we write? R is equal to square. This is just the magnitude, right? A square B square plus 2AB cos theta will write, correct? Now to specify the directions, as I told you, we'll take help of alpha and beta, correct? Alpha and beta, fine. So right, okay. Now let us see variation of resultant with theta, right? So if you change theta, definitely resultant will change. Its magnitude will change and its direction will also change. Okay, now let us see a few special cases, right? Now case 1, I suggest you to write them down. If theta is equal to 0, okay, if theta is equal to 0, okay, let us try to understand from the diagram as well as the formula what we have here. Okay, now I'll take the same diagram here. So vector A I have copied. Okay, now this is vector A, right? Now vector B. Okay, now what does this theta is equal to 0 tell you? Vector A and B, they are in line, correct? So vector A and B, they are in line, right? Now vector B was like this earlier. So vector A is this and vector B is this, right? Fine. Now vector B yeah, vector B, we will make the tails to meet, okay, then we will rotate, right? So it's just like vector A and B are in the same direction now, okay? So like this, fine. See, it feels like it is lying one on the other. So we know, so if they have same direction, we'll call them as like vectors. This can be called as collinear vectors, right? Anything, this can be called as collinear vectors also, fine. Yeah, right. Now yes, now if you see from the formula, what can we do here? R is equal to, correct? So what is the angle we'll get? We have taken angle as 0, correct? So R will be root of A square plus B square plus 2AB cos 0. Okay, now I think you know what is cos 0. So cos 0 is basically 1, correct? So cos 0 will be 1. So R will be equal to root of A square plus B square plus 2AB, that's it, into 1, 2AB will get, right? Now you are familiar with this expression, what is present inside the root, correct? Now what it is? A square plus B square plus 2AB. It is actually A plus B the whole square, correct? Now what is root of A plus B whole square? So you will get it as simply A plus B, correct? Now what are we doing here? This formula, it is mainly used just for magnitude, right? Now what it tells us, okay, now what it tells us, the resultant, right? The resultant in this particular case, if theta is equal to 0, okay, it feels like the algebraic sum of the magnitude of A and B, okay. So that means, let me write the resultant here. So usually I used to write it in green arrow, right? So the resultant will be the vector sum of A and B, that's all, okay. So if you, what it actually means is, for example, let me take vector A is 6 Newton, okay. Yeah, let me take the different color. Vector A is 6 Newton and what is the direction? East, okay, just by looking at the diagram. Now vector B, it is say some 3 Newton again towards east, okay. Now what is the resultant? So from this formula, what did we get? It's just like it is, the resultant is also in the east direction. So resultant will be A plus B, okay. In this case, it is simply adding A and B, right? So resultant, as you can see, particularly we have got the result in this case, taking theta as 0. This is what we got. The magnitude of R is simply equal to magnitude of A plus magnitude of B, okay, fine. So what we will get is R will be equal to 6 plus 3, so that is 9 Newton towards east, okay. Now this is one important thing which will help you a lot. If you see two vectors in the same direction, like vectors, okay, if you see like vectors, parallel vectors, considering shifting, collinear vectors, okay. Collinear vectors means again both of them must be in the same direction, all right. So if they are like that, otherwise you can say if the angle between the vectors is 0, right? So the resultant is it can be obtained simply by taking the sum of the vectors, that's all, A and B, okay. So this is what we have got here. Please note it down in your book, all right, otherwise it, Right, so force is a good example what you can take here. Fine. Now next let us take case 2. What happens, okay, what happens if we take, yes, let us take case 2. If theta is equal to 90 degrees, okay, or let us take 180 degrees first, then we'll come. Okay, fine. So what does it mean 180 degrees? So let me make a copy of B here. So this is vector B, right? Now I'll make a copy of vector A. So this was your vector A. Okay, now this is vector A. Now angle between vector A and B is 180 degrees. So what I'll do, I will rotate the vector. Okay, I'll rotate the vector so that it is, don't worry about the change in the magnitude now, no problem. So it got zoomed in, it got expanded like that. Okay, now this is vector A and this is vector B. Fine, right. Now this is the point, okay, where the tails are meeting, right? Now the angle between them, so what it is, clearly you will see the angle is 180 degrees. Okay, now let us use the formula here. So R, we'll write it as root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos theta. Okay, now cos 180 will get, okay, so this will be a square plus b square plus 2ab. Now cos 180, okay, cos 180 degrees. So cos 180 is how much? Cos 180 is minus 1 will get. Okay, so this will be a square plus b square minus 2ab. Okay, fine. So this one we got it as r is equal to root of a minus b the whole square. Correct? Fine. So magnitude wise, now what you are seeing is the resultant is simply the vector a minus b. Okay, it will be simply a minus b. All right. Now here I have taken, if you see from the diagram, vector a is having larger, it is having more magnitude than compared to vector b. Okay, now what it means is, for example, say vector a is again 6 Newton. Okay, now the same example we'll take. Vector a is 6 Newton towards east. Now vector b is say 3 Newton towards west. Okay, towards west. Fine. Now which one is more? So from the diagram you can clearly see vector a is more, right? So what did we get here? The final result, okay, the magnitude of the resultant, okay, the magnitude of the resultant is simply vector a's magnitude minus vector b's magnitude. Okay, so that is what we get. Fine. So finally you can write diagram wise. Okay, so for example, as I told you, to represent the length, right? For example, say 6 Newton. Okay, 6 Newton I have represented by drawing a line of 6 centimeter. It is up to you. You can use 12 centimeter, 20 centimeter. It is left to you. Okay, fine. Say this is a is 6 centimeter. Just for an example sake, I am saying. Okay, taking length, considering the length, it is left to you. Okay, now if it is 6 centimeter, this will be 3 centimeter, right? Now the resultant, it is simply a minus b, that is simply 6 minus 3, right? So resultant will be 3 Newton. Okay, resultant will be a minus b, that is 3 Newton towards east. Okay, so the resultant will be in the direction of the greatest vector, okay, which is greatest in a and b. So in this case a is greatest, right? So resultant will be towards east. Okay, I hope you can follow from this diagram. Right, take a look at that. Now what happens if b was greater? If b was greater, then you would have got b minus a. Okay, now let me write here. So yeah, so this is vector b and this is vector a. Okay, right. Now I'll make vector b a bit more. Okay, see, I'm making it a bit more. I'm increasing its magnitude. Okay, fine. Right. Yeah. Now what can be the case? It's easy. So this is vector A, right? Still the angle is 180 degrees. Then the resultant will be B minus A. Okay, I'll tell you one simple example to understand this. So in this case, the resultant will be B minus A. Okay. Yeah. Let us write only in terms of magnitude. So R will be B minus A. Okay. Right. So what it can be, as I told you, say now B is some 6 Newton. Okay. Now let me take a different value. So say B is 7 Newton west. Okay. Now vector A is say some 3 Newton east. Okay. Then the resultant, correct? Then the resultant will be 7 minus 3. So that will be 4 Newton towards east. Okay. So one simple example, one physical example, what you can take is, say this is you are standing. Okay. Now hold your arms like this. Okay. So that the angle between your arms, or you can say the angle between your arms must be 180 degrees. Okay. Both of your arms must be outstretched. Okay. So they must be parallel to the ground like that. Okay. Now say this is 3 Newton east. Okay. Now this is 7 Newton west. Okay. Now this 7 Newton is actually being applied by a friend who is very, very strong. Okay. Now imagine a friend who is really strong. Now this is applied by a friend who is not that strong. Okay. Fine. So then in which direction do you think you will move? You will move in the direction of your friend who is applying 7 Newton with the resultant force acting on you. In this case, it will be 4 Newton towards west. Okay. 4 Newton towards west. So sorry, here I think I wrote 4 Newton east, right? See the green one. Okay, here it is actually 4 Newton towards west. Okay, yeah, small mistake. It will be 4 Newton towards west. Okay, right. Now the same example you can relate to this one. Okay, so this example also. Earlier I had taken A more than B. Now it is B more than A. Okay, B more than A. All right. Fine. Okay. Right. Now, yeah, so we have seen the variation of resultant with respect to the magnitude of individual vectors A, B and theta also. Okay, fine. Right. Yeah, there is one more thing I wanted to tell you. Let us see here. I hope you have noted down in your diagram. There is something called as sine rule and cosine rule. Okay, sine rule and cosine rule. Let me start with cosine rule. Okay, cosine rule, what it says is, see, if you look at the triangle here, sorry, if you look at this diagram here, so as you know, the one side of the parallelogram, it is, we have considered as A, so opposite sides, so they will be having the same magnitude A and A. Now this will be the other sides which are opposite, so they will be having the magnitude B and B, and the green color I took it as R resultant, correct? Now the length actually represents the magnitude of the resultant, that's all, fine. Okay, now if you take a look at the triangle PQS, okay, if you take a look at the triangle PQS, so triangle PQS, okay, now I suggest you to write in your notes each and everything. So in triangle PQS, what you can see is let us mark the angles, right? So this is alpha, now this will be 180 minus theta, okay, so this is 180 minus theta, all right, and this angle, the other angle, so what you can see is it will be beta, because see, if you observe the yellow lines, right, yellow lines are parallel, so this angle beta, see this angle beta and this angle beta, they are interior alternate angles. I think you know it, correct? So that is why, fine. Now if you look at the triangle, okay, triangle PQS, you have three sides, okay, so I'll write a I'll draw a rough diagram here. So this is P, Q and S, okay. Now this side length is A, magnitude I'm writing, so this is B and this is R, okay, so this is actually R, right, so this is R, fine. Now what we got here is that, So if you see the relation between R, A and B, okay, and theta, right? So this is actually 180 minus theta, okay, this is actually 180 minus theta. Anyways, so for this triangle, we got R square is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta, okay. Now in your trigonometry, if you go to the appendix, okay, if you go to the appendix, forget about these vectors and everything, okay, just if you draw a simple triangle like this, okay, so this is an obtuse angle triangle. You have one angle which is an obtuse angle, right? Now this relation will always be satisfied, okay, this relation will always be satisfied. Now this formula whatever you have here, so R square is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Now this is what we call it as cosine rule, okay. We'll also call it as cosine rule in terms of mathematics. In physics it will help us to find out the resultant of two vectors, okay, remember that. All right, fine. So this is our cosine rule, fine. Now let us see what is sine rule now, okay. So in your appendix, right, so what is that, 11th standard book, okay, if you have 11th standard NCERT textbook, just go to the appendix, so you will get to see this cosine rule there, okay. In your trigonometry you will be studying this under properties of triangles, okay, so there you will study this, fine, okay, fine. All right, now let us see what is sine rule, okay, we'll see what is sine rule. All right, now to understand what is sine rule, to derive sine rule, what we'll do is we will drop a perpendicular from point Q onto the line PS, that is the green line resultant, okay, fine. So yeah, we'll drop a perpendicular now. Okay, we'll drop a perpendicular. All right, fine. So name this point as PQRST, call it as some M, okay, this point is some M. All right, fine. Okay, now what we can do is, see here, you can write from triangle PSR or PRS, okay, anything from triangle PSR and triangle QSR, okay, triangle QSR, okay. Now you can write, okay, look at these two triangles. So from triangle PSR and triangle QSR, so PSR and QSR, so which is the common side we have? Common side we have as SR, right? Now as you all know, we wrote QR as, again I want you to write sin theta and cos theta for this, you'll get it, okay. So this will be B cos theta, correct, and this will be B sin theta. Now what is that? SR, okay, so QR it is B cos theta, and what is that? SR is equal to, okay, and SR is equal to B sin theta, okay. Now what you can do here is SR, correct, SR you can also write it as, now consider triangle PSR, the bigger one, okay. Now from triangle PSR, okay, from triangle PSR, okay, now if you can see, you have PS to be R, PS is R, SR is B sin theta, and PR is A plus B cos theta, okay. Now R can also be written as, okay, sorry, SR, okay, SR can just draw the what is that, PSR, correct, the triangle PSR you do, okay. Let me erase this. So from triangle PSR, again I am going to write, so this is PSR, now this is alpha, now this is R. Now what can I write for SR? As you know, this you can write it as R cos alpha, simple trigonometry, I am not doing anything else, okay. So this will be R sin alpha, right. Now therefore, see, from this triangle we got SR as R sin alpha also, correct. Now compare these two, what do we get? SR is B sin theta and SR is R sin alpha also, okay. So finally you can write R sin, sorry, B Yes, SR is equal to R sine alpha, which is also equal to B sine theta, correct? R sine alpha, which is also equal to B sine theta, correct? Fine. Now let us try to write one more. Yes, okay. Now you can write R divided by sine theta, correct? R by sine theta is equal to B by sine alpha. Okay, now call this as 1. Okay, let us call it as equation 1. Now again, come back to this triangle here, right? Now focus on the side QM. Okay, I suggest you to draw the diagram. Focus on the side QM. Okay, now we have two right angle triangles in this triangle PQS. Okay, now neatly focus on the triangle PQS alone. In that we have two right angle triangles. So what is that? So this one, see, this is 90 degrees and this is 90 degrees. So we have two right angle triangles. What is that? PQM and SQM. Okay, PQM and SQM are two right angle triangles. Right, fine. So let me write here PQM and SQM are two right angle triangles. So triangle, from triangle PQM and SQM. Okay, from triangle PQM and triangle SQM, what you can write as, observe on that QM, side QM. Okay, now QM, okay, QM, I'll write it directly. So please try to write on your own, right? So you can write it as A sine alpha. Okay, you can write it as A sine alpha. You'll get it. Just consider draw PQM separately. Okay, draw the sides A, then what is that, alpha. Okay, like that. Fine. So right, so you shouldn't consider this as PM is not R. Okay, PM is not R. Remember PS, right? See the mouse pointer. PS is actually R, right? PM is not R. It is something. So it's a small part of R. Okay. Now QM, you can write it as A sine alpha, and this is from triangle PQM. Okay. Now from triangle SQM, right? Now from triangle SQM, you can also write, QM is also part of triangle SQM, right? Now from triangle SQM, you can write QM as, now if you observe, you can write it as B sine beta, correct? You can write it as B sine beta, right? Yeah. So SM is this one, SM, it will be B cos beta. Now QM will be B sine beta. Okay, now from these two, okay, now you can get A sine alpha is equal to B sine beta. Okay, now let me write here A sine alpha is equal to B sine beta. A sine alpha is equal to B sine beta. Okay, right. Now what you can write as A divided by sine beta, okay, is equal to B divided by sine alpha. All right. Now call it as equation 2. Okay, call it as equation 2. Now from equation 1 and 2, what can you write? See here, if you observe the RHS in both the equations, you have B by sine alpha present, right? So equation 1 and 2, if you equate, okay, from equation 1 and 2, you can write, yes, from equation 1 and 2, okay, from equation 1 and 2, you can write R by sine theta, this will be equal to B by sine alpha, and B by sine alpha from equation 2, it is also equal to A divided by sine beta. Okay, A divided by sine beta. Now this ratio, okay, this ratio, or all these three ratios are equal for a particular triangle, right? Now if you again see, we are talking about this triangle which has R, B and A. See, in this equation, if you observe, R, B and A are the sides of the triangle. Okay, fine. So you will understand this in detail when you deal with this in your mathematics. Okay, so this is what we call it as sine rule. Okay, we'll call it as sine rule. Fine. Cosine rule we have seen, that is basically the magnitude of resultant itself when you have two vectors. Now that was cosine rule. Now sine rule is basically this. Okay, now try to compare this with the diagram. All right, fine. So yeah, let us see in the next class.